Welcome guys to John's Football Channel. This is your preview to France versus Spain in the World Cup semi-finals. I hope all of you are ready. This is going to be a very interesting game of football. Let's get into it. So obviously this game is being held at the Douglas Stadium. We've made a preview previously with, I think it was, I don't know if it was Spain or Portugal. One of the games were played at this game previously. So it's very interesting that they're playing at the same stadium again. It's a very big stadium and very frequently being used. So this is the semi-finals, France versus Spain. Then if you look at the lineups, obviously they're going to have Simmons in goal. Probably they'll have Cucurella as a left back, Laporta, Kubareski as a centre backs, Pedro Porro as a right back, and then in the midfield they would either have Pedri and Rodri together, or we can see that there's also a potential lineup of Fabian Reyes, playing alongside Rodri, and then ahead of them we might see Alex Baena, Dani Olmo, and Lamine Yamal on the wing, and then Oyarzabal as a striker for Spain. And then if you take a look for France, they're going to be probably going with Mike Maignan as the number one goalkeeper, Luis Digne as the left back, Saliba and Upamecano as the centre backs, and then Kone as a right back, and then Tchouaméni and Rabiot as the CDMs, and then ahead of them Dembele, Olise, Doué as the players ahead of them, ahead of Tchouaméni and Rabiot, and then ahead of that midfield it would probably be Mbappe leading the line for France. So if you have to look at this game, I think there's a lot of interesting things that you could look at. Like we know, like I don't know if Spain. This is Spain's probably, I think it's their 36th game that they're busy being played, and they're in a very good run of games, a lot of wins in that space. I don't think they've been beaten. So that's a very interesting stat to go into a World Cup. I think the manager's been there around 4 years. I think he's only lost 3 games in that time. So it's going to be very difficult to beat Spain, and I think hence why they're so far in the competition already. So let me know down below what you guys think. Where do you see Spain? Do you see them? How do you see them beating France? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below what you guys think. But for me personally, I do see Spain as a very strong side. I do rate their midfield. I think they've got a very good midfield. Their attack is okay. I do see Lamine Yamal as one of the key players for them, and then Oyarzabal as a striker. But apart from that, I don't really see much attack from the left hand side. They're decent players, but I'm talking about levels now. I'm talking about we're in the semi-finals of the World Cup. I think that's where they're lacking, and I think for you to get to the final, you need to make sure your team is solid. And I think one of the ways that any team can make up for that lack of quality, I think, is by fighting for one another and actually having players in different areas of the game back that specific position, whether it's the left back helping the left wing, or is it the midfielders helping that wing. It's different interchanging of play, and I think that's what makes a good team great. It's the thing of, like we saw it with glimpses of Norway, that thing of Haaland coming back to help his midfield, and I think that's a key indicator that you can see, okay, this team can go very far in a competition, and that's exactly what you need in order to make it. I think that's what you need to make it in order to the finals. The team that doesn't say die, that they do not give up. They're ruthless in front of goal. They're ruthless in defending. They just don't give a damn what you want. Then with France, we know with France, they're very good. I do see the centre backs, very strong centre backs. The left back is a decent left back. The midfield, I think that's where I'm talking about CDMs now for France. I mean, back in the day we had Pogba and Kante. I mean, we all know that Kante can do a job for any team. We know that he used to do 2 jobs at once. You know, he used to defend, he used to attack, and I think that's exactly the kind of players that can actually give you the extra hand and the upper hand over another team. For this, if I look at Tchouaméni and Rabiot, I do see some decent quality there for France, but is it enough? is it enough in that back line or enough in that line of defense to protect the defense when there's a counter attack or in different transitions of play? I think that is a question. If I can see the likes of Dani Olmo, the likes of Lamine Yamal, does Rabiot, does Tchouaméni actually stop them from actually attacking the back line? But for me personally, I don't think that I think that's where France might lack some quality. We do know they have a lot of good quality on the bench as well. If need be, if they need someone to come on to actually change something up, whether offensively or defensively, that's for me. That's where I might see a key area for Spain to dominate. I do think for this game, Spain will be dominating the ball. I think it will be a case of France sitting back, holding up their goals and actually saying, okay, no, let's see what Spain can do. And I think it fits in France's caliber. We know the likes of Dembele, the likes of Olise, the likes of Kylian Mbappe. They have a lot of pace among that front line, the likes of Doué as well. I think that's where France will actually have their firepower. If France can hold their own and actually can protect their defense, I think it's only a question of now, when they receive the ball, can they actually utilize the ball that they actually get and actually create some counter-attack football over Spain. I think that's what we would be more or less looking at going into this game as the game is going on. I think Spain will be holding the ball. I think France will say, no, let's see what you can do. And I think it will be a question where Tchouaméni or Rabiot, can they hold that line and allow the France team to actually have a chance to actually capitalize and actually score the first goal. I do think there's also another thing of whoever scores first. If France score first, I think it works in their favor. Spain would actually need to move up a lot more. It gives leaves spaces behind the Spain team, and I think we can all see that Kylian Mbappe making runs, Dembele making runs over that back line of Spain, and I think that's exactly where Spain might lack the capabilities to actually attack while also defending. I don't think no team can really do that. I suppose you can try, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Spain don't have the most pacey defenders, the likes of Laporte. Cucurella is a decent left back. Pedro Porro also, but are they very, very quick? Are they quicker than the likes of Mbappe? Are they able to catch Dembele? I think that's another question, and I don't think they can. So, me personally, I think if France go first, it's game over for Spain. But vice versa, I think can happen where if Spain are able to get the first goal, it will force France to come out of their shell. If Spain are very, very clinical and very tactical, I think they can just knock the ball around and actually waste time. And I think they can actually irritate France and let them actually lose their formation and their tactics. And I think that's where, if Spain can, and I think they will, if given the chance, they'll pick France off bit by bit, and I think that's how they could possibly score and actually win the game for Spain. And then if we look at let's look at the form. If we look at the form from France in the last 5 games, all wins. They won 3-0 against Iraq, 4-1 against Norway, 3-0 against Sweden, 1-0 against Paraguay, and then 2-0 against Morocco. And then if you look at for Spain, 4-0 against Saudi Arabia, 1-0 against Uruguay, 3-0 goals against Austria, 1 goal against Portugal, and then 2-1 against Belgium. I would like to know your thoughts. Out of these 5 games for either team, who do you think had the most difficult fixtures to actually play? I think most of us, but let me know if I'm wrong. I think to an extent it could possibly be Spain. I think the likes of Portugal, the likes of Belgium. We do know that for France they had Norway and Morocco, and I would put Paraguay up there as well. They're not the most ranked team, but I think they are up there. We saw how far they were able to push. They're beating Germany as well. So we can't take that team lightly as well in terms of a difficult fixture for France. So let me know down below, out of the 5 games, who do you think had the most difficult game to play? And then we look at some more stats for Spain. Obviously, Spain have won all 7 of their last knockout stages under their manager. So now it's a thing of, we all know that the stats sometimes are meant to be broken, and I think it's just a question of when it gets to be broken. I think is tonight the night where France lose that momentum? They lose that spell of a run of games. Does that run of games come to an end tonight against France, or do they continue and actually continue that record and increase the stats for their team? And then we know that Moreno also is one of the first players to score the winning goal in a World Cup game from a sub. And I think he did it twice. I think that's what makes it a very, very interesting stat. And I think no other player has ever done that for their teams coming off the bench and scoring 2 goals for their country and actually scoring the winning goal. And then if we look at for France, obviously France, Kylian Mbappe has 20 goals. Well, I think he's 1 goal behind Messi. So he would obviously be wanting to catch up and actually put himself up there alongside Messi in terms of the race for the Golden Boot. And then obviously Mbappe has 12 World Cup knockout age goals, the most of any other player in history. So that's very, very good for Mbappe. Can he continue? Can he actually show that he is one of the players to be the new generation of Messi and Ronaldo? Do you guys think that is possible? Do you think that's true with Mbappe and Haaland or the next generations? Or is there other people or other players in mind that could actually beat Mbappe and Haaland for that top spot? And then obviously France have won all 6 World Cup matches, scoring 16 goals. And then France are the 3rd consecutive World Cup semi-finals, equalizing Brazil and Germany's record of coming into the semi-finals for the World Cup consecutively. So it just shows you that France are up there. They're smelling blood. And then if you look at the overall stats between the two teams head to head, France have 4 wins over Spain, while as Spain have 5 wins over them, and then a draw in between. So in 10 games, France have won 4 and Spain have won 5. So that's very, very tight, and it will be very, very interesting who gets the upper advantage in this game and how does it sway for either team. The last team to win was Spain between the two teams. So now it's a thing of can France rectify that loss? And then obviously if we look at the two players that possibly would be paired against each other for this game, the likes of Mbappe and Oyarzabal, obviously they in a way 2 different players. Mbappe is more like a winger and a very, very fast winger. Oyarzabal, I think obviously is a lot more older and he has a lot more experience in the game. I would say Mbappe is more about playing the line and making those runs, whereas Oyarzabal is also about tactics and also more about, I do see him as a player where he would link up like a Giroud, like sort of a Higuain. He's like a Aguero basically, and then I think that's where 2 players differ. But let's analyze and see who gets the upper hand in this fixture. Kylian Mbappe has 8 goals. Oyarzabal has 4 assists. Kylian Mbappe has 3. Oyarzabal has 1. Matches played. Kylian Mbappe has played 4 games, 2 more than Oyarzabal with 2. Matches minutes. Kylian Mbappe has played 518, while as Oyarzabal has played 469 minutes for Spain. And then now, obviously, there's going to be this game tonight, and then we know we're never another game with England versus Argentina. Then we have this game tonight, France versus Spain, and then we know tomorrow it will be England against Argentina. Stay tuned for the preview for that game as well, and let me know down below what are your thoughts going into that game as well. So now it's score prediction and who's going through. For me personally, I'm thinking that France will probably go through. I think they have been there. They've won the T-shirts a couple of times. They know what it's like to go into a final. They know what needs to be done in a semi-final as well. And I think France with France's pace, I think in terms of the midfield, the midfield is not the best, but I think if they are able to help out the likes of Dembele, are able to help out defensively, and the likes of Doué as well, they're not the oldest players. I think they can do the job. They can actually protect that backline as well and give some cover. Those players will be able to. They should be able to run around the likes of Rodri, the likes of Fabian Ruiz, and the likes of Daniel Olmo. Me personally, I don't think it will be that attacker from Spain. I do think Pedri or some other defensive midfielder will come into play. I mean, I don't see Spain going with a 4-1 formation. Yeah, it will be interesting to see who do they play. I don't personally see Fabian Ruiz playing. It's either Daniel Olmo or Fabian Ruiz. And probably we'll all know that Mourinho might be coming onto the game in the second half to do the job if need be, if the game's not sealed already for both teams. So guys, let me know down below what you guys' score predictions for this game is. For me, I'm gonna go 2-1 for France. I hope for all of us that very, very entertaining. A lot of counter-attack football. It is going a case of both teams going full blow attack. Chances that's not likely, but hopefully for the neutrals and hope for all of us that is the case. I mean, we would love to see some entertaining football between the two teams in this fixture. So I'm going 2-1. Let me know down below what you guys think of this game. How do you see this game going? What are your thoughts? And stay tuned for the post review when it's all said and done. Peace.